Hello, welcome to another unprompted video. I wasn't planning on this video, but it's been an interesting week for me, so I figured I would share. To start out, on Monday, I woke up and I had small body aches, and I was just like, oh, I don't feel good. And, it was really minor, so I was like, I'll be fine. So I went to school. And Monday at school was, it was a bad day at school. I went to my third year class, and it's an oral communications class, so it's not required at my school. So at my school, my third years have mostly already passed their entrance exams, so they don't care. They like to talk a lot, and they just, English isn't in the top, thing for them to be doing right now, apparently. So it was a bad day, and after that class, I had a headache, and I was like, oh, my students drove me crazy. I have a headache. And by lunchtime, I thought I was going to die. And I was carrying around my thermometer just in case because I knew that I had a small fever. So I was carrying around my thermometer and I took my temperature and it was pretty high. So I left early and I got home and I laid down and was going to sleep. And the 4:30 bell woke me up. Every day at 4:30. The bell rings, the same chime every day at 4:30. And it woke me up, and then I took my temperature and it was really high. So I called my teacher, or my supervisor at the center, and she took a taxi and came and picked me up and took me to the doctor. And it was about 6 o'clock by the time we were ready to go. And the doctor, they took my temperature there, and my temperature was 38.9 degrees Celsius. Now, in Fahrenheit, that's about 102 degrees. I have not had a fever like that since I was in middle school. So I was pretty certain. I was like, I've got the flu. That's it. I've got a high fever. I've got body aches. I've got no appetite. I was like, I've got the flu. There's no way around it. I went the next day and they jabbed this huge long Q-tip right up your nose. And oh, it was so bad. I knew it was bad because I watched a video that Reynolds Air had done, and he was talking about the test for swine flu. So I was kind of prepared for it, but nothing can prepare you for that. It is so unpleasant. And the nurse was holding my head, and the doctor was just going jab, 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 jab. Oh, it was not fun. But I didn't have the flu. I had actually waken up the next morning and had no fever whatsoever, but they gave me medicine. And medicine in Japan's nasty. Nasty. It's like taking an aspirin and crushing it up and then putting it on your tongue. It's just gross. I really don't like it. See, it's like powder. It's powder. I don't like the taste of medicine on my tongue, so it's really nasty. But they gave me medicine for my nose and for my throat and for my overall ickiness, and they also gave me another medicine for my fever, but I only took that once. I actually just had an upper respiratory infection, an acute, I like that word, acute upper respiratory infection. So I got to be forced to stay in my apartment for 2 days. And on Thursday, I went back to work at the center. And I also had to get a doctor's note. And normally you have to pay 3,000 yen for it. But I actually didn't pay anything. The nurse gave it to me and in Japanese said, it's a gift for international relations or whatever, something along those lines, roughly translated. But she basically gave it to me because I'm a foreigner. So I was really excited about that because that's $3,000 3,000 yen that I could save for something else. So Okay, so being sick this week, that was always fun. Then, like last night, I was playing my guitar, and I was like, the ground keeps shaking. There's an earthquake going on, but there never was. I kept checking on JMW, JMA, Japan Meteorology Agency, and they have up to date information about earthquakes and everything. And there was no earthquake, so I was just going crazy. But this morning at like 5:30, there was an earthquake, and it woke me up. Now, I am from the East Coast of America. Not the West Coast, the East Coast. I'm from the East Coast of America. There are no earthquakes. No earthquakes. Doesn't happen. Just doesn't happen. So when an earthquake comes, I go into like this panic mode, and I'm not quite sure what to do because I'm like, oh my god, the ground is moving. Why is the ground moving? My bed should not be moving. So, I always like grab my stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. But I do go to, I don't have a high enough table, so I just kind of go to this little closet right here and go underneath the futon part, like on the bottom part. So it's always fun. No, it's not. So it was very unfun, actually, and it was a very rude awakening. And then when I woke up, because I was waking up in such a terrible way, I couldn't go back to sleep. So I stayed awake at 5:30. I was not happy about that. And it's so cold, so I was like trying to stay warm, and it was not fun. And that's the last thing about this week, is this week has been so cold. Like, it's been kind of cool, and last week I asked myself, is this as cold as it gets? This is not cold. I had to go and say it. Because now it's like 3 degrees, and I'm just freezing. And of course, everywhere else in Japan is getting snow, and I'm complaining about the cold. But anyway, so it is cold here. I've got my little space heater. I have a heater in the other room, but it's gas, and I don't like running gas for 2 reasons. 1, I'm afraid of gas, and 2, it's really expensive. So just for my hot water and my range costs me 4,000 yen a month. Just for those 2. So if I try and turn on that heater, it's gonna go right through the roof. So I got this, which way am I gonna move? This way. I got this little space heater for 1000 yen. It was really inexpensive, and it works wonderfully. So I close that door and turn that on, and I'm good to go. And I've also got my kotatsu. This is the best thing known to man, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, when I was sick, I didn't move from it. I was just like, okay. And this chair, this zaisu, I think is what they're called, is really cool because it is like one of those beach chairs, and it leans back. So, whee! It leans back, and it clicks back up. So, it's very exciting. But anyway, so that's my unprompted video for today. Interesting week between sickness, cold, and earthquakes. Don't like earthquakes, but maybe I'll get used to them. But anyway, thank you for watching. I know this video was completely pointless, but why not? Okay, thanks for watching. Peace.